right, guys. Happy Monday. This is the last week of school. So if you guys do have any assignments that you guys have been submitting and I have not graded them, please let me know. I'm trying to get all the grades all up to date and whatnot. So if there's still a missing grade in the grade book for you, but you submitted the assignment, please shoot me an email so I can check into it and get that taken care of. Other than that, Chapter 20 test, I am planning on Thursday at the moment, unless something else changes. But I want to walk you guys through Section 1 quick. This is the section that is most relevant to you, especially right now. But as you guys get older, you guys, I assume, will be driving for a long time now. Okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through this Section 1 quick. Chapter 20, just in general, is talking about insurance. Section 1 is vehicle, 2 is property, 3 is life, and 4 is health insurance. Out of the 4 of them, like I said, this first section is most relevant to you guys, that you guys will understand probably the easiest out of all 4 of them. Okay? Some of you guys do have cars, already have insurance. Some of you guys aren't quite old enough quite yet, and this will be relevant to you probably another year or two. But doesn't help or doesn't hurt to be pre-informed already. But first section, talking about automobile insurance right here. So this chart right here on page 511, figure 20-1. This is what Section 1 is going to pretty much walk you through. These 3 that fall under personal injury coverage, and these 3 fall under property damage. Okay, so total of these 6 we are going to cover and work through. But know that these 3, bodily injury liability, medical payments, and uninsured motorist protection, falls under personal injury, okay, because those are dealing with people. These 3 are dealing with people, so that's why it falls under personal injury. Then property damage, collision, and comprehensive is dealing with property. So that's why these 3 fall under property damage. These 3 deal with people, so it's personal. These 3 deal with property, so it's property. Okay, so knowing the difference on those. Okay, so starting right away with personal injury coverage. Okay, so I'm walking through these 3 right now. Here's your bodily injury liability protection. This is insurance that protects the driver from claims resulting from injury or death for which the insured is at fault. So this is if you cause the accident. This is where that comes into play. Also covers the other passengers in your vehicle, people in the other car, that kind of stuff. When you are working with your bodily injury liability, I did take 2 pictures of my insurance card, and I'm going to show you and walk you guys through an actual real life card, so you guys can see. But here's what you'll see on your card if you do have one. Dollar amounts of bodily injury coverages are generally expressed as 2 numbers. Typically, it's 100/300. Okay, so this first number refers to the limit in thousands of dollars that the insurance company will pay for injuries to one person in an accident. Okay, so if you were the only one in the accident, they would cover $100,000 of it. They would pay up to $100,000. If you got in an accident and it was $43,000, okay, then obviously they'd pay you or pay for $43,000, not the full 100. But if you had an accident that was over $100,000, they'll pay up to $100,000 for that one person. The second number is the maximum amount that the company would pay for injuries to multiple people. Okay, so if you're with a group of friends in a car and you got an accident, let's just say there's 4 of them, 4 people in the car and all of them had injuries, the company would pay for up to $300,000 for all 4 of those people. Okay, so those 2 numbers will be beneficial to know. If more than 3 people were injured, each person would receive may not receive the full $100,000. Insurance company is only liable for $300,000 in that case. Let's see what. I'll come back to that one. Okay, so knowing those 2 numbers, what those 2 numbers represent. For example, let's just say it was 50-200. Okay, so that represents that first number would be 50, so that'd be $50,000 would be the max for one person, and that 200 would be the max for if there were multiple people. Okay, so that's what that number is representing. You will want to know that for the test, what those 2 numbers represent. Your medical payments protection. This protection may also, like if you were hit by a car, if you were walking, crossing the street, and you get hit by a car, right there would be that. Policy holders and family members are covered if they are injured while riding in their car or another car. That would be referring to that one. Medical payments, insurance covers the cost of medical, dental, ambulance, hospital, nursing. Okay, that's what that would represent or cover. The uninsured motorist protection, if someone causes injuries caused by a hit and run. If your car is parked out in front of your house on the street and someone comes and does a hit and run throughout the evening, uninsured motorist protection right there would be an example. Okay, so those would be those 3 things. Going back here, these 3, we just talked about those 3. Now, property damage. So this is 3 of them that refer to property. Property damage liability, this protects a driver against claims if the insured cars damage someone else's property. Okay, so this would be if I have insurance, I'm driving a car, I jump the curb, and I hit someone else's fence. That the damage to the fence would be covered by property damage. Good to go on that. Collision insurance. I'm talking about insurance that protects the car owner against financial loss resulting from a collision or rollover in the coverage right here. Collision coverage is usually written with a deductible clause. You must pay this amount before the insurance company pays the claim. So going to this one, here's a real life example of an insurance card. This is obviously from last year for me, but this was my insurance card last year. So here's the front of it. Here's what I pay through my premium. Going back to the notes, this time about a deductible. Right here, I have $1,000 deductible that I would have to pay. Okay, so if I was to get in an accident, and let's just say it was my car and I hit someone else's car, and I have, let's just say, $4,000 worth of damages. What this means is that $1,000 deductible would be I have to pay the first $1,000 out of my own pocket before the other amount is covered by the insurance company. Okay, this you don't always have to pay $1,000. You could choose $250, $500, $1,000. Those are your 3 common ones. Okay, so the higher your deductible is, the lower the amount you have to pay for your premium, typically. Okay, because the higher the amount of your deductible, that means you are willing to pay more out of pocket an accident if it occurred. Okay, so if I got in an accident and I caused $800 worth of damages, if I file this accident with my insurance company, well then they're still going to make me pay the $800 because my deductible is $1,000. However, if I had a $250 deductible and I filed that claim, well, if I had a $100 or $800 accident, well then I have to pay for the first $250, then they would cover the rest. Okay, so the higher deductible you have, the lower the premium. If I had a lower deductible, so like $250, I would have to pay more for a premium. Okay, so that's how that works. Again, here's what I pay for. Then this just on the back, it just breaks down what those letters represent right here. Okay, so right there again, right there's bodily injury. There's property damage, medical payments. There's your deductible for comprehensive, deductible for collision. Okay, so all that's showing up on your insurance card. Here's your comprehensive coverage again. Your car can be damaged or destroyed in other ways. People can decide to break into your car. Maybe it's a tornado, or it's very windy and it blows over a tree, or it picks up a trampoline and throws it into your car. Okay, so stuff like that would be covered under your comprehensive coverage. So that's kind of that. The no-fault insurance clause, that's just saying that there's no fault in the accident. Let's just say both people were at fault, or if you're driving and if you're driving west and the sun was setting at night, maybe the sun caused you to do something that hit a car or hit something. Okay, that'd be a no fault. So right there'd be that. Automobile insurance costs. There's a lot of things that happen that could increase or decrease your insurance rates. Here's a list of things to look for. Your age or other characteristics such as an accident report. Okay, typically teenage boys are the higher rates because they typically want to gun it or brake immediately. They are more at risk for higher rates because they're more at risk for accidents. Purpose for which you use your car, number of miles you drive each year. Typically it's red sports cars that are higher for coverages. Okay, boys, when you guys turn 25, when you turn 25, your insurance automatically goes down because you are meeting the age limit right there. Girls, it is 21. That's when insurance companies have deemed that you are, quote unquote, fully mature or able to handle responsibly driving for that. So you're not constantly gunning it or road rage, that kind of stuff. A lot of things that you can do to decrease your rates. They do look at grades. If you do have typically State Farm does 3.5 GPA or higher, I think, or maybe it's 3. Maybe it's 3.0 or higher. If you show them your transcripts, they show it or they see it, they'll give you a discount. Maybe if you take driver's ed, discount. Progressive, I know State Farm does this as well. You can install like an app or device in your car that measures all your acceleration, your braking, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that affect your rates. If you get in accidents, that kind of stuff. Okay. Here's reducing automobile insurance section. I'm running low on time right now. I can only record for 15 minutes at a time, so I'm trying to push through here. Okay, so right there's just section 1 in a nutshell. Biggest thing is to know these six right here. These 3 go with personal injury. These 3 go with property. Okay, so knowing this chart for the test would be very beneficial.